got some more sizzling hot Lakers rumors. Could the Lakers land this all-star big man they're currently now the favorites to trade for? Also, could the Lakers take advantage of the Celtics selling? And why this veteran big man could make the most sense? All that more coming up next on The Big Lead. What is up, and welcome to The Big Lead. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of the media. I've covered LA sports for over a decade. Chat Sports, 24/7 Sports, SI, Dodgers Nation. I do NFL radio for Westwood One. And if you're new to The Big Lead, it's the hottest stories in sports in less than an hour. I'm a born and bred LA sports fan, loyal to the soil. I've bled purple and gold my entire life, so you're going to get Lakers content on this channel essentially every day, 365, 24/7. That's how we get down here, because I love the Lakers, and I love talking about the Lakers, and I love Lakers rumors. So I like to use the channel to keep you guys as informed as possible, because it should be a pretty eventful offseason for LA. So we got lots to get into, so let's get right into it. Now, let's talk about Clint Capela. Because Clint Capela, he might be the best option for the Lakers this offseason. How much would it take to get him, though? And what would you have to give up? Well, Capela, he really is one of only a handful of realistic options for the Lakers on the free agent market. They would have to give up very little as far as being able to sign him, though it could get dicey based on where they're at from a salary standpoint. We talked about that yesterday, so if you want to go back and watch that episode about the salary situation and how they're impacted by the aprons and things like that, go back and watch. But without the cap room to sign Clint Capela, the Lakers would have to use the taxpayer mid-level exception to get a deal done with him. And are they willing to use it on one of their only viable means to sign a free agent? That's the big question. Are you willing to use that one piece that you have potentially for a Clint Capela? It really depends on if you believe he can be that guy. Because if you do, it makes sense. But the way things are right now, the Lakers, they're not just one center away from getting that last piece of the puzzle. You need a couple of big men for next season. So that could mean giving up a couple of those trade assets, the 2031 first-round pick, Dolan Connect. You got the free agent exceptions. I mean, you need to get multiples. So the question is, can you use the taxpayer mid-level exception to get Capela and still get another respectable piece? Now, that is what you have to ask yourself. Now, how good of a fit is he? Great fit. This guy is a great fit. And the reason for that is he brings a lot of playmaking ability, rim running ability. He's been a career rim running threat. Last season, he had 1.06 points per possession as a roll man, and he had an effective field goal percentage of 56% in those actions. That's really good. And even if those numbers decline a little bit, it would still be an upgrade to what they currently have. He also is just a great baseline threat. He's knowledgeable in pick and rolls. And having him play with Luka Doncic and LeBron James, I think you would see those numbers go up. I think they wouldn't go down. I think they would go up. And also, he's a good rebounder. He didn't qualify for the rebound leaders yet last year, but he had a 15.8% offensive rebounding percentage. If he did qualify by playing enough minutes, that would have put him in second in the NBA behind Walker Kessler. So you're kind of getting Wish.com Walker Kessler a little bit. You're kind of getting Timu Kessler, but at a better rate, and something that's actually attainable. So that number has gone down from when he was at his peak, but still, I mean, he has the ability to finish at the rim. He has the ability to get rebounds. I think pairing him with Luka Doncic and LeBron James at this stage of his career, I would love to see Clint Capela as a Laker. If he wants to win a championship and compete for a title, I think that right now, signing on the dotted line to be a backup big man, that'd be ideal. Is he going to be your key starter? Maybe not. And then you could use those trades to get another big. But I would love to see Clint Capela. I really would. I think the big question is, do you keep Austin Reeves? He's an unrestricted free agent after this season. He's not going to sign the max extension. So why would any team kind of give up big-time assets knowing that they're not going to have leverage for Reeves? That is the big thing. I think a lot of Laker fans out there, a lot of Lakers podcasts out there, I think they're overestimating Reeves' value because, yes, his current contract is extremely valuable, but that's for a very specific win-now team because you hope that he signs the Lakers for $30 million per season, and then you can use him as a trade chip. Like if he had more years under his contract, then he would make more sense as a viable trade option. And then also, too, there's the fact that the Lakers have made it pretty well known that unless it's for an all-star type of big, they don't want to trade Austin Reeves. They still think that he can provide a lot of production for them. I mean, he's someone that gives you 20 points, can give you 6+ assists, rebounds. Not a great defender at this stage, but I think an off-season where he's getting physical and he's working on his body a little bit, I think that you could at least get him closer to respectability like we saw earlier in his career. So, yeah, I mean, I certainly think that that's an option. I really, really do. I think that Clint Capela, I would use it on him. I really would. And I know that is kind of crazy, but it's kind of one of those things where it's the best you can afford, right? You have a finite amount of money, right? It's like, yeah, I would love a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or a Bugatti or a Porsche, and I would love a Beamer or a Mercedes, but I'm going to get this RAV4, but it's going to be the highest trim. It's going to be the most luxurious version of a RAV4, right? So sometimes you just have to compromise with what you have. And for that standpoint, I do think it makes a ton of sense. He does have the possibility of being the best the Lakers could get. And just kind of diving deeper in that aspect, I mean, that mid-level exception is at $5.6 million. So at $5.6 million, you're getting a guy that averages 8.9 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, and 21 minutes a night. So he's a guy that's going to play 21 minutes. And yes, those were career lows, but I think that it at this stage of his career, based on what you're getting from him, it makes a ton of sense. Now, the other thing, too, is he did shoot just 39.4% on shots in the paint outside the restricted area and 62.7% on shots at the rim. So he was kind of the bottom 5 percenters in that. So you would need him to have a resurgence. You really, really would. You would have to get him closer to where he's been in years past, but still a good screener. He still can give you offensive rebounds, getting 3.2 points or offensive rebounds per game. And like I said, at that price, you're probably not going to get that much more. And also, I'll add one more thing about Clint Capela is that he's appeared in 87 playoff games. So he has familiarity with being in the playoffs. He's not a 10 out of 10, but hey, that RAV4 still works, man. I mean, you can still drive that thing. You can still get production for it. So I still like the idea of Clint Capela. I really do. Now, the big dream right now, though, in Lakers land is Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo would be the dream scenario along with another center. I mean, think about if the Lakers went from, we could have gotten a broken Mark Williams that always is driving around with a check engine light on, that is like a Jaguar, looks really pretty, really nice when it's on the road, but spends a lot of time in the shop. Or we could have ended up with a Bam Adebayo, one of the best defensive centers in the league. And we saw it happen in that first-round loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Rudy Gobert was a problem. They made him look like Rudy Chamberlain, Rudy O'Neal. He was dominating that game. Well, Bovada released yesterday, the Lakers are favorites to land Bam Adebayo in a potential trade. And it has the Lakers at a plus 190, the Grizzlies at a plus 160, 300 for the Spurs, plus 375 for the Kings, and plus 475 for the Mavericks, and a plus 1,000 for the Bulls. The Celtics are in that mix as well, but this is interesting because these odds come out a day where LeBron James went to the practice court for the first time in a couple of weeks. And there were some really good shots of LeBron working some turnaround jumpers, some one-legged shots, doing LeBron James off-season stuff. And it feels like things are kind of working in the background, right? Things are kind of happening. The Heat were active with the Kevin Durant trade talks, but they weren't able to get a deal done. So Lakers, you got Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber, Jackson Hayes. You got those centers right now. Those aren't scaring anyone, man. Those aren't scaring a little chihuahua, right? I mean, that's just not how it's going down. So the Lakers, though, if you get Bam Adebayo, you're in a really good spot. I mean, at that point, you got a big three at that standpoint. Now, the question is, how much would you have to give up? He'll be making $51 million next season. So this is what a potential trade package would look like if the Lakers were to wham bam, thank you ma'am, to the Miami Heat and get Bam Adebayo. Lakers get Bam Adebayo, and the Heat receive guard Austin Reeves, forward Rui Hachimura, center Maxi Kleber, 2031 unprotected first-round pick, 2028 first-round pick swap. So that's a lot of assets. And Bam is absolutely elite defensively. There's no doubt about it. But in this deal, you give up Reeves, you give up Rui, and two big picks. You gut a lot of that depth, a lot of that shooting, a lot of long-term flexibility. So that would be a tough deal. I think you would have to find some way to keep some of that depth. The pick is for sure going to be gone in that one. Maxi Kleber, they're going to want Reeves. They're going to Rui Hachimura. And I think a package like this, you would probably want to get more than one player in return if you wanted to make that work, because just the days of stacking stars with this new CBA are in the past. I think that's why the NBA is in trouble a little bit. I really do. I mean, the NBA, that was on pace to be the worst rated NBA finals ever, right? In their game 7, the NBA was trying to prop up a rating where it got a 16.7 million viewer rating, where people were watching that on average for the game 7. If that's the NBA's game 7 now, then Adam Silver is in trouble, where your game 7 averages 16.7 million viewers. That's a random Thursday night football game. Cavs Warriors were getting over 30 million. So as the NBA audience cut in half, and you can't use that silly argument, if everyone's on Stream East. These team ratings don't count Stream East for the NFL either. So it's still a accurate measure of ratings. So, I mean, come on, let's open things up. Let the coastal elite franchises have stars. I mean, come on. But I think the other things, too, is Bam has expressed not wanting to be a center. But, I mean, a player from Miami and someone who doesn't want to play a center, where's that gone wrong, right? So, I mean, Bam is not better than Anthony Davis, but him and Luka, they'd be fun to watch. That's the thing. I mean, AD would have been the perfect player for Luka Doncic to play with. Of course, those days are gone, but I think Bam would be a great fit. I really do. If you could trade for Bam Adebayo, I would do it. I mean, I think for me, I would certainly include Austin Reeves in a deal for him. I really would. I mean, Austin Reeves is going to be getting a new contract at some point, but think about what he could do. Perfect lob threat. He almost single-handedly fixes the Lakers' defense. He can switch. He defends the paint. He's mobile. He is a defensive player of the year level candidate. If you replaced Bam Adebayo with Austin Reeves, I don't think the Lakers lose the first round last year. So if it's Austin Reeves for Bam Adebayo, I will drive him to the airport myself, because it's all about contending and contending when you have the stars. You got LeBron, you got Luka. Everyone thinks that, Luka's going to contend for 10 years. Sure, maybe, but why don't we just take advantage of his absolute prime now? Shea just won his first title at 26. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like the fact the Celtics that have more titles than the Los Angeles Lakers. So, yeah, I would absolutely consider doing that if I'm the Lake Show. By the way, speaking of titles, Alex Caruso was repping the purple and gold at the Oklahoma City Thunder's championship parade today. He showed up rocking that 2020 Lakers title ring as a chain. He was also wearing a Alex Caruso Mount Rushmore shirt, and he posed that Larry O'Brien trophy. It was a really cool shot. So, yeah, he took some heat by jokingly saying that he finally has a real ring now. And, of course, that was him being sarcastic because of stupid trolls that say that the Lakers ring was a Mickey Mouse ring, saying it was a real one. So, yeah, it was cool to see him do that. And he also said that the Thunder title was much harder than the 2020 Lakers title. But he said because OKC didn't have the veteran leadership that the Lakers had. The Lakers dominated their postseason run, while the Thunder had to win a couple of Game 7s to win a championship. So his overall statement, I mean, everything he said, all of his comments, they were just taken out of context. But the Lakers, they made a massive mistake in not bringing back Alex Caruso, stupidly going with Talen Horton-Tucker. Talen Horton-Tucker was never going to be that guy. Caruso should have always been a Laker, and I still believe to this day, if you run it back with that group, that team is going to win another championship. So they really let one get away. So really love seeing that from Alex Caruso, the Caruso, doing big things. But yeah, it was good. A little update on LeBron James. He did return to the court for his first time since MCL injury. In his last episode of the Mind the Game podcast, he did say that the injury was a pain he hadn't felt before. That's a lot. I mean, for a guy that's played 22 seasons and made all those playoff runs, that's a lot for him to say. But he did give it an Instagram update on Monday, and he did go back out there. He was showing some shots up, getting those shots up, and he already was in the gym getting shots up, so that's good. I mean, that's positive news when you consider the severity of that injury. I mean, it was understandable that he wasn't feeling good and that he was underperforming late in that one. Let's not forget, though, this guy's 40 years old, and the Lakers rely heavily on him. He averaged 24.4 points per game, 8.2 assists, 7.8 rebounds. Still a second-team All-NBA guy. He's the only Lakers player to make an All-NBA team last season, and he led them in assists. So they got to get him ready to go. You got to continue to build that chemistry with him and Luka Doncic. And here's a guy that it's been reported, it's pretty much the most parroted NBA fact ever, that he spends $1 million on his body. Yeah, he probably pays someone $1 million for that, but really it's his decision making. He's the guy that is the reason why his body's in such great shape. So it's great to see he's taking care of himself, and that LeBron James has a player option for next season. The deadline for that decision is June 29th. So all the reports are he's likely to opt into that deal. And yeah, next time we hear from LeBron, it'll be really interesting to see what his thoughts are on the new ownership. But hey, LBJ is definitely on the mend and feeling better. But that's going to do it for this episode of The Big Lead. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button for your Los Angeles Lakers. Look at these. It's like Jordan 1s, UCLA colors. Love that. And be sure to hit the like button if you really want to support the channel, guys. This is a movement. This is going to be a show for all sports fans. We're talking about stuff that other shows don't talk about. This is not for the easy, we just love every player. No, we're going to have some hard convos and keep it a buck on The Big Lead. Keep it 100 with you guys. But yeah, hit the like button. Go Lakers. Follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Until next time, I'm out.